Welcome to this exclusive and frankly shocking video. Today we're diving deep into something that has likely flown under your radar, something so subtle and yet so powerful in the way narcissists manipulate their victims. It's a psychological tactic that could have been happening to you throughout your relationship with a narcissist, even for years or decades, and you might not have noticed it. For the first time, we're going to reveal why narcissists rarely, if ever, call you by your real name. In fact, if they do, there's often a reason behind it, a reason you won't expect. Instead of using your name, they might refer to you with a title, or worse, they might not call you at all. They'll point, use vague references, or just address you with impersonal pronouns like you. These small, seemingly harmless actions are part of a larger, insidious method of control. In today's video, I'll explain the secret behind this behavior and the disturbing truth of why narcissists choose to distance themselves from your identity in such a way. Stick with me until the very end, because I'm also going to reveal the one instance, just one, when a narcissist will actually call you by your real name, and the reason behind it will shock you. But before we dive in, I need you to do one quick thing. Like this video. By liking, you're helping this message reach more victims who might be suffering in silence, unaware of the manipulations happening around them. Subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss another video that might just change the way you see things. Now let's uncover the truth about how narcissists manipulate you, using your name against you. One of the core reasons narcissists rarely call you by your real name is because, in their eyes, you are not a person with your own identity. You're simply a thing. To them, you are an object, a tool that serves a purpose. You're not someone with a name that holds meaning, but rather a machine or a possession they can manipulate. The truth is, in their warped mind, they might even view you as a pet, someone to be controlled and used for their own benefit. It may sound harsh, but this is the reality. By not calling you by your name, the narcissist is subtly dehumanizing you. A name represents your individuality, your humanity. It's an acknowledgement of your existence as a separate, valued person. By stripping that away, they reduce you to nothing more than an extension of themselves or a tool they can control. Instead of calling you by your name, they might use a diminutive form of it, something that infantilizes you or makes you feel less than you are. They might call you by a generic term like you, or worse, use impersonal titles like "come on, woman." This subtle but powerful tactic reinforces their control over you and diminishes your sense of self-worth. You aren't an individual. You are just something for them to manipulate. The second reason the narcissist avoids calling you by your name is to humiliate you, to strip away your sense of worth and dignity. A name isn't just a set of letters. It carries significance. It represents your identity, your personality, and most importantly, your value as an individual. When someone calls you by your name, it acknowledges you as a unique human being with a presence in the world. But a narcissist wants to rob you of that very essence. By not addressing you by your name, they are deliberately denying you the respect that comes with being recognized as an individual. This tactic of humiliation is subtle but potent. It's a psychological form of torture designed to make you feel less than human, to remind you that in their eyes, you have no value. You're not a person. You're just a number, a faceless entity they can control. They enjoy seeing you squirm, watching as their manipulation erodes your self-esteem. This method of humiliation isn't always obvious, but it is deliberate, and it's part of the narcissist's broader strategy of emotional abuse. By denying you the dignity of your name, they increase your sense of inferiority, slowly breaking you down over time. One of the most devastating tactics a narcissist employs is the gradual erasure of your identity. And not calling you by your name is a crucial part of that process. Your name represents who you are, your individuality, and your unique personality. It holds the essence of your existence, the recognition of your presence in the world. When a narcissist deliberately avoids using your name, they are essentially stripping away that identity, turning you into a non-person. To the narcissist, you are not someone with a story, dreams, or desires. You are simply a tool, a vessel to exploit for whatever they need, whether that's sexual, emotional, financial, or simply to serve their ego. In their eyes, your value is reduced to what you can give them. This is the harsh reality. Over time, you become little more than an extension of their own desires and needs, a mere instrument for them to manipulate and abuse. But the impact goes deeper than that. The narcissist doesn't just want to use you. They want to erase who you are so completely that you lose sight of your own identity. They treat you like a trash can, a vessel for their own emotional garbage. They project their unresolved pain, trauma, and negativity onto you, draining you of your vitality. Slowly, they turn you into a ghost of your former self, empty, exhausted, and devoid of soul. By not calling you by your name, they ensure that you remain in this state, a lifeless thing without a personality, without the power to reclaim your own sense of self. Another sinister reason the narcissist avoids calling you by your name is to brainwash you, to manipulate your mind and reprogram you. By stripping away your identity and not addressing you by your name, the narcissist begins to break down your sense of self, preparing you for even worse psychological manipulation. The goal here is to reshape you, to make you into someone completely dependent on them, a puppet in their hands. This is part of the narcissist's process of control. By not using your name, they begin to normalize their manipulative behavior, making it seem like their games and emotional abuse are just a regular part of your life. You become conditioned to accept being treated as less than human, to accept being seen as an object rather than a person. Over time, this creates a deep psychological attachment, where you start to lose your sense of individuality and become pathologically attached to the narcissist. You start to feel like you're nothing without them, just another one of their many victims. This tactic doesn't just apply in romantic relationships. It extends to work environments, friendships, and any social relationship with a narcissist. The absence of your name becomes normal, and with that normalization comes the slow erosion of your boundaries and your freedom. It's an essential step in the narcissist's game of control, and if you're not aware, it can trap you for years. The fifth reason the narcissist refuses to call you by your name is to make you feel like you are nobody, to strip you of your sense of worth and identity. This behavior is an intentional act of disrespect, and it's part of the narcissist's larger plan to diminish your value in their eyes, and more importantly, in your own eyes. By not using your name, the narcissist is subtly reminding you that, in their world, you don't matter. You're not a life partner. You're just a thing to be used, a presence they tolerate when it suits them. In healthy relationships, calling each other by name signifies respect. It acknowledges your uniqueness and individuality. But for the narcissist, calling you by your name would mean giving you that respect and acknowledgement. And that's the last thing they want to do. They want you to feel disposable, like someone they can cast aside whenever they choose. When you don't hear your name being called, something deep inside starts to shift. Your self-worth becomes shaky. Family and friends might call you by your name, but the narcissist's refusal to do so starts to chip away at your confidence. You begin to feel like you're less important, less valuable than others. The narcissist has effectively removed the respect you deserve, and in doing so, they strip away your dignity and self-assurance. This doesn't just affect you and your relationship with them. It also impacts your relationships with others. You start talking to people with less confidence, almost as if you're second class, like you're somehow less valuable. This is incredibly dangerous for your mental and psychological well-being. It distorts your self-perception and causes you to lose touch with your true worth. Remember, everything the narcissist does is designed to manipulate and control you. Not calling you by your name is just another way they tighten their grip on you, undermining your sense of self so they can continue their destructive cycle of emotional abuse. By now, you've endured a lot of manipulative behavior from the narcissist, being reduced to titles and labels that strip you of your identity. You've become accustomed to being called you or worse, making your name feel irrelevant in the relationship. But now, here comes the shocking twist. One day, the narcissist will actually call you by your name. At first, this may seem like a breakthrough. You might think, finally, they're treating me with respect, or maybe things are changing. But this couldn't be further from the truth. The moment the narcissist calls you by your name is not a sign of affection, but a calculated move designed to unsettle and confuse you. Why is this so shocking? Because after all this time of being called anything but your name, hearing it spoken with no emotion behind it hits you like a jolt. Your mind doesn't know how to process it. Your name has become a symbol of respect, value, and identity, something the narcissist has deliberately withheld. Now, suddenly hearing it feels strange, almost unsettling, and that's exactly the effect they want to have on you. In that moment, you might start questioning everything. Is this the end? Why are they calling me by my name now? This emotional confusion is exactly what the narcissist seeks. It keeps you off balance, spiraling with questions and doubts, unsure of where you stand. They want to induce anxiety and fear, making you feel like the ground is shifting beneath your feet. Here's the brutal truth. When the narcissist starts calling you by your name, they are preparing to discard you. This is the final stage of their abuse cycle, the discard phase. They've already used you, drained you, and now they're ready to move on. By calling you by your name, they create emotional turmoil, making you feel like everything is about to change, and not for the better. So when the narcissist finally calls you by your name, brace yourself. It's a signal that the relationship is nearing its end, and they're preparing to leave you in emotional chaos, just as they've done countless times before. We've reached the end of this exclusive video, and I hope you gain new insights and a deeper understanding of the narcissist's behavior. The secrets shared here today are ones you've likely never heard before, so I urge you to take them seriously. Now, my friend, you know the truth behind why the narcissist never calls you by your name. I'd love to hear your experiences, so please share in the comments. When was the last time the narcissist called you by your name? How did it make you feel? If you found this video valuable, please give it a like and share it with others so we can help as many people as possible. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more content like this. We'll meet again in the next video. Take care and be happy.